Good morning, students. I am your social teacher Nageshwari madam. I am going to teach you 6th lesson in your 10th class, the people. So let's see the information about the people. So what is meant by census? Once in every 10 years, the officials are collecting the data about the population in our country. We called it census. Okay, let's see here. The census means the process of official counting, especially a country's population, and recording the various facts once in every 10 years. In Hindi, we term the census as Jana Ganana, and in which various data is collected by the employees of government regarding the most populated metro cities, the top literature state, high population, best sex ratio, top growth rate, high density states. This all comes under the census. Anyway, what is meant by census? Census are collecting the data or collecting the information about the population throughout the country once in every 10 years. We called it census. The first census was taken in our country in 1872. The first complete, so this first census was taken in the year 1872, but it was completed in 1881. Since then, the census have been held regularly every 10 years. So India's population as of 2011 census 121 crores. Out of these, 1,210 million people and 623 crores are men, 587 crores are women. So the first census was taken in India in 1872 and it was completed in 1881. Then one more information about the 2011 census. So, according to the 2011 census, the total population, literacy, density of population, sex ratio and child sex ratio. Let's see here. Population. The total population 121 crores. Male population 623 crores. Female population 586 crores. When it comes to the literacy, what is meant by literacy? The person, those who have 7 years and 7 years above can read and write and understand any language. We call that person literate person. So if you don't know the language or writing or reading, understanding any language, we call that person illiterate person. So the total literacy in our country according to the 2011 census 74.04. Among that, males literacy 82.14, female literacy 65.46. And when it comes to the density, what is my density? A people for 1 square kilometers, the people for living 1 square kilometers, we call them density of population. So what is the density according to the 2011 census in our India? 382. Sex ratio. So the female population for 1000 males, we called it sex ratio. So for sex ratio in our country 940 females for 1000 males, and the child sex ratio 914 for 1000 males. So let's see the gender discrimination between the female and male. Female literacy rate. If you compare the female literacy from the male literacy, female literacy is very low when compared to the male literacy. The female literacy is 65.46%, the male literacy 82.14%. The violence about the females, 37.2% of women have reported the spousal violence. So they are ill-treated in the house, harassment by the husbands and from the other people in the houses. In the 5 women being sexually abused before the age of 15. High stress among the women. Number of studies provide the strong evidence that higher prevalence of depression and anxiety disorders in the girls and women when compared to boys and also men. Limited and unequal access to the health care. Studies have reported that less number OPD attendance compared to male, probably due to the lack of access, resource constraints, decision making. So these all are the discrimination against the females. Let's see the literacy. According to the UNESCO 1958 definition, the term refers to the ability of an individual to read and write with understanding a simple short statement related to his or her everyday life. So, literature or illiterate. The term refers to a person who can or who cannot read or write with understanding a simple statement related to his or her everyday life. We call them illiterate persons. So those who know the reading, writing and understanding any language, we call that people literate persons. Those who don't know the reading, writing and understanding any language in their day-to-day life, we call them illiterate persons. So let's see here, the literacy percentage in our India from 1947, only 12% of people were literate persons. 2001, 64.84. So literate people were increasing when compared from 1947 to 2001. 2011, it was rapidly increased from 64% to 74%. In 2011, men literacy 84.14% and women literacy 65.46%. So let's see the sex ratio. So what is meant by sex ratio? The sex ratio is the number of females per 1000 males in the population. This information is given an important social indicators to the measure the extent of inequality between the men and women in the society. We noticed that the number of females in India has constantly have been the lower than that of men. Women and girls in a particular face unequal opportunities for education and development in the most basic need of nutrition, childcare, health. Also, they are discriminated against. They get less of these things than males. In India, 103 female babies are born against 100 male babies. However, more female babies die than male babies. So let's see the sex ratio in different states. Haryana 879, Punjab 895, Andhra Pradesh 993, Kerala 1034. So where we can see the highest sex ratio? In Kerala 1034. Sex ratio in Andhra Pradesh 993. So let's see the sex ratio from 1951 to 2011. 1951 946 sex ratio, 1961 941, 1971 930, 1981 934, 1991 929, 2001 933, 2011 943. Anyway, it was rapidly increasing when compared from 1951 to 2011. So let's see this bar graph. So it is in our textbook. So this is the bar graph about the sex ratio. Next, age structure. So the census was taken according to the age structure. Let's see the children, working age, children below 15 years, working age 15 to 59 years and the ages about 59 years above. Let's see the children below 15 years. They are taken care by the family and like everyone else they require the food, clothing, education and medical care and all other opportunities for growth. However, usually they do not earn their income to support themselves. It is not desirable that some children are forced to work because of economic conditions. So anyway, 15 years below people, they are depending on their parents for food, clothes, education and medical facilities. So they are called children. Especially government provided free and compulsory education for 6 to 14 years children in the government schools. They are providing free food, free accommodation, free clothes, uniform, books. So everything is provided free for 6 to 14 years children, those who are studied in the government schools. Next, working age 15 to 59 years. Usually this group forms the working population in a society. Most of these group people earn the income and security of work. The age above the 59 years. Those who have being in a salarized employed or in the organized sector may get pension. So somebody may get the pension, somebody may not get the pension. Mostly this group of people unable to work. It is also possible that their medical expenses are higher than that of other ages groups. Anyway, below 15 years people, above 59 years people, they are depending on 15 to 59 years people. So the working age is 15 to 59 and the children's below 15 years. The age above 59 years people also depending on the 15 to 59 years age people. So some of the factors responsible for the gender equality or inequality. Illiteracy. So illiteracy is one of the factors responsible for the gender inequality according to the 2001 Census of India. The literacy level in India is 65.38% and which the male literacy level 75.85% and female literacy level is only 54.16%. Anyway, if you compare to the male literacy, female literacy is very less according to the 2001 census and according to the 2011 census also. And child marriages. Children, especially the girls, are married at a very young age or very early age. This proves the fatal for their overall development and also have a negative impact on their health too. So we must protect the girls from the child marriages. The social evils like dowry system, sati system are also major responsible for the low status of women. Discrimination against the girl's child. The girl child is not treated properly in the family. People still prefer the birth of a boy rather than the girl. The girl child is basically trained for housework. Why? Parents have a fear about the dowry system, about the sati system, and they have a fear about the safe of that particular girl. So they never send the girl outside of the family, or even in the early age they have to marry their girl into other men. So women empowerment. Political. In 1993, with the 73rd and 74th constitutional amendments that give the women's 1/3 reservation for elected states, especially a reservation for the women for SCs and STs. The bill for reservation of seats for women in the parliament also 33%, and economic Rashtriya Mahila Kosh in 1993 facilitate the credit support or microfinance to the poor women. Many SHG self-help group, especially in our India under NABARD, National Bank, SHG Bank Leakage Program. In our Andhra Pradesh also the program is going on in the villages like SHG Self-Help Group. These self-help group women are providing the financial support from the government and from the NABARD also. Next, effects of overpopulation. Let's see, if it is overpopulation, we can face number of problems in the country. The depletion of natural resources. Forests are being cleared. Earth can produce only so much water and also food. Anyway, due to overpopulation, number of people cannot get proper food and proper nutrition. And degradation of the environment. Overuse of fuel oils have produced the serious effects of global warming, rising the sea levels also. So because of overpopulation, we can use fuels or gases or petrol and diesel. It may be effect to the environment and it may be effect or causes to the air pollution and global warming. Conflicts and wars. More people means more demands on resources impact. Tension between the two countries. Unemployment. When the countries are overpopulated, only fewer jobs are available to the support of the people. And higher cost of living. As demand increases for commodities, food, shelter and health care, the people have to pay more to feed their families. So we can face a lot of problems because of overpopulation. So the population and quality of life. If the overpopulation in the country, what happened? Primary problems with overpopulation, environmental degradation, it may be effect for air pollution, water pollution also, hunger, we can't get proper food, and persistent poverty. Poverty will be increase in the society, increase in the country, economic stagnation, and people cannot get proper facilities, proper status. Rich persons became rich, poor persons became very poor persons because of overpopulation. Urban detritation, urban population will be increased when compared to the rural population. Health issues, medical facilities also not available to all the people in the country. So we can face environmental degradation, hunger, persistent poverty, economic stagnation, urban detritation, and health issues. So how can we solve this overpopulation problem? Let's see some precaution. To solve the problems of overpopulation, the measures that are mentioned below can be accepted. Formulating the population policy. Realistic population policy should be made on the basis of various reaches or related to population control and family planning. So one measurement is family planning. Family planning, it is possible to control the population of this country. Without family planning, and planned family is very much important in this regard. Expansion of education. Education is an important tool for controlling overpopulation growth. Particularly, female education can play an important role regarding the population problem. So early marriages. Early marriages must be controlled through the laws, and minimum marriages age for boys and also girls should be 20 and 25 years respectively. The action should be taken if anyone breaks the law. So anyway, we can solve the problems overpopulation through the family planning, extension of education, especially in the women. Early, we can stop the early marriages, and government should be provide some acts to stop the early marriages, and government should be fixed the age of marriage for boys and girls, especially 20 years and 25 years. So 5